Let's hit the field.
It is just another Manic Monday, July 28th, and we count down to the trade deadline. But first, the Yankees kicked off a 4-game set with the Tampa Bay Rays that will take us up to the trading deadline. Cam Schlittler on the mound again tonight and bringing the heat. My recap, your reactions coming up next. This is Pinstripe Territory.
Just wanted to talk, that's all.
Well, let's talk it out. There are days when this team looks amazing, and then there are days where this team looks like they have no energy, and today, unfortunately, was the latter. Yankees offense consisted of 2 bases-loaded walks. That's how they got their 2 runs tonight, and they missed out on an opportunity because Toronto lost tonight. So the Yankees had a chance to, wipe a game off the standings, but they screwed it up, as they typically do. Orlando says, sell, sell, sell. So some things to talk through tonight. Obviously, Cam Schlittler wasn't great. He wasn't terrible either. I mean, he went 4 1/3 innings. He walked 4 guys. He's a rookie kind of breaking into the major leagues. He really doesn't have much other than the fastball going for him right now. I thought the bullpen for the most part was pretty good tonight. But the offense just continues to stink up the joint. I mean, Anthony Volpe 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. Stanton struck out in a big spot. Wells 0 for 4. Wells got robbed there in the 9th inning. I'd like to know if anybody has access to this. I'll put it on the screen. What the catch probability was on that ball that Austin Wells just hit in the 9th inning. Because I thought for sure that was getting in the gap or getting over the center fielder's head at least. So, phenomenal catch. Got to, give credit where credit is due. But unfortunately, the Yankees failed to capitalize. And once again, they lose a big game to the AL East opponents. Rays jumped out to an early lead off of Cam Schlittler, 2-run home run by Junior Caminero. I have a feeling in my bones that I'm going to be saying that a lot over the next several years. Caminero has insane bat speed. I looked away for a second to write something in my notes, and I could hear the sound of the bat when he made contact, and I knew instantaneously it was a home run. I didn't even need to look up. I did, and I saw it go out of the ballpark. But just a clean, crisp. It sounds like when Giancarlo Stanton connects, is honestly what it sounds like. Yankees answered right back. They strung some hits together. I thought it was going to be a good night. Dominguez, Bellinger, Stanton all got hits. Bellinger got some help from Chandler Simpson, who took a horrible route in center field. And then Ryan McMahon worked the bases-loaded walk. RBI for him. He looked good on, basically since being traded to the Yankees. He was 1 for 3 tonight, and he had a walk and a ribby, and he's looked good at third base. Like, he has really picked it. He made a play in the 7th inning to get Luke Weaver out of trouble. But pretty stark improvement over even supposedly good defenders like Oswald Peraza. So we had a nice play by Dominguez to run a ball down in left field in the top of the 8th inning. Good route, good speed. He also had 2 hits and a run scored tonight. So good night for the Martian. Ahmed Rosario pinch hit for him. And in his Yankees debut, I thought he looked good. He ripped a line drive to left field. Having somebody who really hits lefties and doesn't need to play a lot, that's what that allows you to do. You can pinch hit for the Martian there, and you're getting better, right? And that's a spot where the Yankees are now better late in the game against the lefty. I'm not saying that Dominguez will never hit lefties, but he can't hit lefties right now. So that was a nice pickup, I think. Zell with the $2 super chat. Appreciate it. But other than that, the Yankees just didn't get it done offensively. Like I said, Volpe, another tough night. You started to hear I guess a smattering of, is smattering a word? I feel like it's a word. It might not be, of booze tonight. And to be honest, it's about time. I mean, hitting 213 with a 683 OPS, kicking every other ball hit to him. I'm surprised it didn't happen sooner. Referee says Bronx bums as usual. And Rays take the opener 4-2. Von Doom, living up to his name, says, it's time to sell. I've been saying the Yankees should sell. El Nino Torres just says, boo. Katie Herring says, what the heck happened to the offense for the Yankees? Well, tonight they just didn't have it. And I got to give some credit to a guy who is on the trading block, Pete Fairbanks, who looked great. I mean, that guy has great stuff. If you've ever heard him talk, he gets interviewed on Foul Territory occasionally. He is so entertaining. He is a character. I would love for the Yankees to pick him up. He's definitely on my trade wish list over the next 4 days. And if the Yankees want him to be traded, they're going to have to beat the Rays the next couple of nights. Otherwise, the Rays might decide that they're still in it and decide to hang on to him. But Pete Fairbanks, definitely somebody who's got some attention here. Talk about Cam Schlittler. No question in the quality of his arm. His arm is elite. He topped out at 100.2 miles an hour tonight, fastest pitch of the Yankees season so far. But the secondary stuff just hasn't been as good. We saw the slider against the Mariners when he first came up at 94, and it was just like, wow. I haven't really seen anything that breaks a ton. His curveball is okay. It's a 12-6er, but it doesn't have like sharp bite. The changeup, I mean, the cutter, I mean, I just don't see a really big strikeout pitch. So he's got to get strikeouts on the fastball, either catch somebody looking for something off speed and sneak a 98 in there, or blow the fastball by him at, 98, 99, 100, like we saw several times tonight. He had 5 strikeouts. But so far, he's allowing a lot of base runners. But again, we're going to give this kid a grace period. He's just breaking into the major leagues. You expect a little bit of growing pains. They talk all the time about the gap between AAA and major leagues being bigger than it's ever been. Even guys who dominated in the minor leagues are struggling once they hit the major league level right now. And Cam Schlittler is an example of that. But, I felt like he was able to overpower a lot of minor league hitters with the fastball. But when you get to the majors, they foul that pitch off, right? Or they just won't chase it if it's outside of the strike zone. So until he develops that reliable secondary pitch, right? The wipeout slider or, hopefully something that doesn't make his UCL explode, right? We've had enough of that. But once he develops that big swing and miss secondary pitch, my guess is it will be a changeup, knowing Matt Blake. I think that, he's going to continue to have those long innings. He threw about like 27 pitches in the first inning tonight. But after that, he settled down. He got a big 6-6-3 double play in the 4th inning to get out of a jam. But 5th inning, he just ran out of gas. So final line, 4 1/3 innings, 7 hits, 3 runs, 4 walks, 5 strikeouts. He did allow the 2-run home run. And then we got a comment here from Aaron who says, when they pitch, they don't hit. And when they hit, they don't pitch. That's always the mark of a bad team. And the trade deadline coming up in just a few days. I think it's interesting that Emmanuel Clase came off the board today. Another gambling incident in Major League Baseball and on the Guardians. And apparently there's going to be more news breaking about the Guardians, more names revealed in the next couple of days. So this could be a big, big deal for them. Also, Yankees traded Carlos Carrasco to the Atlanta Braves today. And there's been some talk about the different free agents the different relief pitchers that the Yankees are going after. Brian Hoke said that Andrew Heaney, Dennis Santana, and Caleb Ferguson are 3 guys that the Yankees are considering. To what my response to that was, what year is it, right? I mean, these are 3 former Yankees. I don't want anything to do with Caleb Ferguson. He stunk the first time. Andrew Heaney also wasn't good the first time, but he's gotten better in recent years. And then Dennis Santana, I thought he was solid. He had his ups and downs for sure, but he's been good this year. And Pete Fairbanks, loved what I saw from him tonight. Ryan Helsley is somebody to consider. David Bednar would get me excited. Kyle Finnegan, Jake Bird, Emilio Pagan, Kenley Jansen, all guys that could be traded. You've heard rumors that Aroldis Chapman could be dealt. And while I think he would be healthy and mostly reliable, I don't think the Yankees want him after he skipped that workout and didn't get to be on the playoff roster. I think that kind of burned the bridge back to the Yankees. So Craig M says Haney was trash, and so was Turd Ferguson. United Corp says sell, 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 sell. Thinks the Yankees should unload some assets. You're seeing that more and more. I wouldn't hate it if the Yankees sold. I honestly wouldn't. I think that they're probably not going to go far in the playoffs, even if they make it this year. And look, they lost Garrett Cole for the season. They lost Clark Schmidt for the season. They've lost now Aaron Judge for, I don't know, at least 10 days, if not longer. You had Giancarlo Stanton out for a couple of months. You know, Goldschmidt has fallen apart. He has done nothing offensively in a while now. Volpe's having a horrible year. I mean, these are not the traits of a World Series champion team. Championship teams don't have this many holes to patch usually. Now, that being said, the Dodgers last year traded for a bunch of players at the deadline. They got like Tommy Edman. They got Jack Flaherty. They got Michael Kopech. They got a number of guys. I think the Yankees might be trying to do something like that where they patch a number of holes, but it's going to be difficult to do without cleaning house in the farm system. So, I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to doing that. I mean, it would certainly be exciting. It would be good for the channel and the podcast to have a bunch of breaking news, a bunch of moves going down. But also, I think the long-term solution for the Yankees is to develop more guys from within. However, that being said, I'm well aware that the Yankees' development has not been great in recent years. We've had a lot of issues with guys regressing once we got here. Brian Bashman says, sell, Mortimer, sell, 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 sell. But be interesting to see what happens. Volpe is really starting to concern me. 0 for 3, couple of strikeouts. Be interested in seeing if the Yankees can somehow get a shortstop, even if it's a shortstop prospect. And then maybe you can use Volpe. I know that was like blasphemy a year or two ago. But at this point, I just don't know if he's a big league shortstop. He continues to regress offensively. And defensively, he just has had a really bad year. He booted another one tonight, got ruled a base hit, but again, didn't field it cleanly. And he's obviously got it in his head now. So, I don't know. There's just a lot of areas. I feel like McMahon has done a nice job at third base. Wouldn't be opposed to keeping him there next year. I mean, he's obviously under contract for a couple of years. You got Rosario to fill in against a tough lefty, right? Grisham is somebody who probably has a little bit of value. He's still got the OPS over 800. I don't think they would move Bellinger. I think even though he will, possibly opt out and get a bigger deal, I think the Yankees want to keep Bellinger. I think that he's part of the solution. He's a baseball player. It'd be interesting to see if and I mentioned this the other day and people scoffed, if Stanton has any value and willingness to accept a trade. I mean, he's a guy who's been proven to mash in the postseason. He's been hitting better this year. The Yankees are going to need to clear the DH spot. They need to clear some money. They could eat a bunch of the money. They only owe him about, $50 million? I mean, they just ate $22 million to make DJ LeMahieu go away. So it's not like out of the realm of possibility that they would eat some money to move Stanton just to clear up the DH spot, clear up that log jam, and, wish him well, thank him for his performance in the ALCS. And maybe use that roster spot to gain a little bit more flexibility. Maybe you call up Spencer Jones, right? You put Spencer Jones in the outfield. You let Aaron Judge DH the rest of the way. That's one way you could go. Maybe you deal Grisham as a part of that and use him to get some pitching, some relief pitching. We'll see how it works out, but tough night for the Yankees. United Corp says we need to rebuild again. You're not wrong.
I'm so sick of this shit.
Quick word from Arena Club, back in 60 seconds.
Kratz, if I'm new to card collecting and I'm looking for the safest, most trusted way in the game to acquire cards or to buy a card but not go through a ton of work where I'm going to the shows, I'm going online doing auctions, I want it all in one place, I'm going to
Arena Club. It's all in one place. You know you're getting a good price whether you're buying it or you're selling cards. If you're new to it, you don't want all the other crappy cards. You can get the ones that you want. You can start your collection. And if you get them on Arena Club, your collection will look a boss.
That's right. And may I mention, they also have Pokemon cards in those slab packs that we talk about every week. You can rip a pack for as low as $25 and hit on a card that's worth tens of thousands of dollars because every pack has grails that are at least 20x the price of the pack. So get involved at arenaclub.com/foul. Use the code FOUL to get 20% off your first slab pack or card purchase.
All right. So we got a comment here from the legendary Mary Beth, who had a great voicemail on Friday night that won the chat. She says, scoffed and smattering. Good words. So I guess they are words. I guess they are. I've been hooked on phonics. Jonathan Awad says, 1/4 of Stanton's hits this year are homers. That's pretty much the story of his career. I mean, he hits a lot of bombs, but not a whole lot else. He hits the ball really, really, really hard. Let's see here. AJ Chen scared me for a second. He says, breaking news, Anthony Volpe is a bum.
You can't win!
Infernus de Romanus says, did you check out Fantastic Four? Not a big fan of superhero movies, but he thought it was super dope. I thought it was terrific. I thought it was tremendous. I didn't like Superman, really. I mean, I went and saw it, and I just thought it was like 2 hours of Superman getting beat up. I didn't like it. I thought Francesa had a really great review of it, pretty much said everything that I felt, as usual with most topics. But Fantastic Four was kind of what I wanted Superman to be. It was fun. It was fast-paced. It had all the whiz-bang and cool stuff. But, yeah, I really liked it. Appreciate the question. Lucia says, 4-22 record when scoring 2 runs or less. I mean, you would expect that, right? 2 runs or less is not many runs. I mean, and for a team who's had as many pitching problems as the Yankees have had, I would not expect them to win a lot of those games. Wayne Wilcox says, the Yankees have checked out. Maybe it's time we did too. We got a call about that. Let me go ahead and play it.
Hey, Derek, it's Thomas. It's 3-2 right now. The Rays are currently winning. And to me, it just looks like the Yankees, they don't have, enough oomph. Doesn't look like they really care if they win or lose. I think they should call up some of their younger guys. Because like you said a few shows ago, years past, the Yankees called up some of their younger guys, and it, sparked the light under them, and they played really good. So I don't know. I mean, since Judge is going down, I know it's only for 10 days, but, these games matter right now. Maybe they should do something about this. Call up soon.
I appreciate the comment, my man. I am totally on board with seeing what you got in Spencer Jones. I mean, the guy has 29 home runs in in the minor leagues. He's been on fire since going to AAA. Let's see what you got. If that means moving Grisham, I can live with that. I can live with trading Trent Grisham to give Spencer Jones a shot. To me, it would be more fun to come in third place with Spencer Jones out there and getting a look at him than coming in third with a guy who's just going to leave as a free agent. The Yankees aren't going to pay for Grisham. Come on. Not when you got so many young outfielders. I say get something for him. See if you can get a relief pitcher or a prospect or even some salary relief so that you can, pick up someone somewhere else. But as far as your comment about the Yankees not caring if they win or lose, I disagree with that. I think everybody wants to win. If you don't get to be a professional athlete without having a desire to win. There are some guys who are just naturally gifted and they don't care, and typically those guys don't even like baseball. That Anthony Rendon for the Angels strikes me like that, right? Carl Pavano is probably one of those guys. I've heard the same thing about Yohan Moncada from people who know. They've said he doesn't like baseball, which is one of the reasons I've steered clear of him and one of the reasons I'm glad the Yankees didn't get him. But I feel like when you play bad and you're not hitting, it looks like you don't care. That's something Michael Kay says all the time, and I agree with that. I think it's correct. But tough night for the Yanks. I am going to wrap it up. So later this week, we're going to do basically post games all week. I'm really, really busy this week. But on Thursday, we're going to do a trade deadline special after the deadline. So the Yankees play an afternoon game. It'll probably be over around 3:45. And then the trade deadline's at 6. You can count on me being live at around 6 o'clock. And we'll talk about whatever the Yankees ended up doing. Would not shock me if they make a move between now and then. Over the next couple of days, teams are going to start moving guys and taking last offers and so forth. So I think there's a move coming. And let's just hope that Brian Cashman isn't sleeping on the street somewhere or climbing a building, that he's actually engaged with his job at the moment. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you next time. If you made it this far, do us a favor, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and join our community. You can also be a part of the show by calling in at 718-899-1068. Also, part of the way that we maintain and fund all of this is through nydesigns.shop. Check it out now. Get all sorts of fun Yankees merch, hats, hoodies, zip-ups, beanies, mugs, you name it. We've got it. Check it out, nydesigns.shop. And check out Pinstripe Territory on all your favorite podcast platforms. We are the official Yankees podcast of the Foul Territory Network. We're here for post-game shows after every single game, and we're here before a lot of games to talk about the game, preview the lineup, the pitching matchups, and things like that. And we're here all off-season to talk about the latest in Yankees rumors, news, etc. Join our community. We'll see you next time.